I have the privilege of introducing the next speaker. I'll say this, if anybody in here has the itis, you won't have it after this person comes up. Many of y'all have probably seen her probably on the Make Real Estate Real course, or she's done a bunch of different pop-ins for us on alumni calls and plenty of other things. But if y'all don't know, you're about to find out. Everybody make some noise for Miss Terry Cowser.
Hey, y'all! Listen! Good afternoon! Oh, this stage step is a little high. Hold on. Woo. Look, y'all wasn't going to catch me slipping. Not today, devil. Listen, I said, who is it that keeps on making me have to go after lunch? I don't want to speak to management, okay? But guys, I'm super excited to be here. Let me just first say this. I have slides, I have information to share with you, right? But when I really was thinking about the conversations that we've been having, come on somebody, I'm not here just to present some information. Our goal is for you to leave different than what you came. You came here for a reason. Look, right or right? Right or right? And so I really was thinking about the person in the room, right? You all. You're already a leader. You're already a 5%er. It already, look, y'all missed a good time to clap. Clap for yourself, right? And the reason why I say that is because it's a certain kind of person that values investing in a conference, values investing in information. So that tells me you're already a leader. You're already somebody who's accomplished and successful. So I was asking myself, what's the disconnect? What's the disconnect? What are you still here seeking? Why do some of you still not have the result that you want? And I'm going somewhere with this, right? So I'm gonna get into this, but I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the conversations I've been having. So I'm not gonna put nobody on blast, but I need you to write down right now, what's the very next best step? What's the very next best step? I'm gonna tell you why I said that. As I was having conversations last night, I'm like, what's your goal? What's your goal? Legacy, Terry, I want legacy. I'm like, good. What's your goal? Generational wealth, Terry, I want generational wealth. I'm like, that's amazing. We're going to help you. What is your goal? I want to invest in real estate. Y'all, that's not a goal. That's a feeling, that's emotion, that's inspiration. That's not a goal. So there's a reason why some of you guys have 800 credit scores, money in the bank, business credit, and you still don't have the tangible result you're looking for. So I'm not going to point her out, but I was speaking to a young lady, and I was like, what is your goal? What is your goal? And after I asked, and we drilled it down, she said, I need to replace my mortgage payment. I said, good. What's that number? She said, $5,100. I said, good. That's where we're going. I said, write that down. Your very first goal with your real estate then is that you want to generate $5,100 a month. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? That means if you currently have one property and it's generating, let's say, $1,000, then you get the next property that might be generating $2,000. Now that's a tangible, measurable, guys, write it down. Is it measurable? That's a tangible, measurable result, because then you go to the next property and you're able to say, did I get to my $5,100 a month? That could be one property, that could be two properties, that could be three, that could be five. But guys, finish what you started. Yes or yes? Finish what you started, because that's one thing that has helped me be successful. And right, I'm not going to talk about me today. Well, like a little tiny bit, because I got some stories. But, right, the goal is not to talk about me. The goal is for us to give you guys the tool, resources, and information to have a different result, right? And so that's one way that I invest in real estate. I say, what is my tangible goal? Okay, I got property number one. When I get property number one, I will look at my income, my assets, my liquid capital, my business credit, my personal credit, and I will say, what do I need for property number two? And then I hustle and get property number two. After I get property number two, I look at my income, my assets, my liquid capital, my personal credit, my business credit, and then I say, what do I need for property number three? Why am I going here? Some of you have 0 properties, some of you have 1, some of you have 5, some of you have 10. So that's why I started with, what is the very next best step? So as I'm sharing information with y'all, I should have started here. As I'm sharing information, y'all, some of y'all been calling me a name. Do y'all know what name y'all been calling me? Besides Terry. Look. The money girl. Y'all the money lady. I said, show me the money. listen, right? So I'm going to show you how you can get $250,000. Y'all know how I do on YouTube. Look, go Nakia. $1,000, right, with a soft inquiry direct deposited into your business bank account with your business. Oh, could somebody say, oh, y'all, I got y'all attention now, right? I'm going to show you that, but the reason why I started with what is the very next best step is because the goal is to leverage your credit to build wealth, not to get into debt, right? So even if I help you get $250,000 direct deposited into your business checking account, this working capital you can use for anything, I want you to have a plan for it because you still need to pay it back. Does that make sense? All right, next slide. They're helping me out on my slides because I move around a lot, y'all. All right, so 1989. So we're talking about exposure. I want you guys to be exposed to the fact that you all have a new way of generating wealth. Why is this number important? There's a reason why our aunties and our grandmoms and our great-grandmoms and our parents say, credit is the devil. Credit cards are the devil. Don't get credit. Do you know why? Because look how new it is, 1989. FICO scores came to the credit industry, came to the lending industry in 1989. So previously, you needed $100,000 to buy a house. You needed $200,000 to buy a building. You needed $500,000. But guess what? Now that you've been exposed, you can buy a property with what? You only need 3.5% down, 15 to 10. Well, we heard earlier, look, 10% down. Does that make sense? So I want you guys to think about credit in that way. You all have been exposed to a new way to build credit, a new way to build generational wealth. So my question to you is, what are you using your personal and business credit for? I'm going to look away. I better not see nobody with no new Nordstroms, no new, look, y'all got that Friends and Friendly from Macy's. Guys, right? If you use it the right way, it can change your entire life. So I want you to stand up real quick because we're going to make a promise. Oh, that was not rhetorical. Come on, stand up, especially because y'all been eating. I want you guys to repeat this promise with me, okay? I want to set the tone. Is that okay with you? Yes. All right, I want you guys to repeat after me. Starting today, I acknowledge that my personal and business credit reports are my financial integrity. Financial integrity. Come on, somebody. I will leverage my personal and business credit. Say it like you mean it. To build wealth with a focus on income-producing assets. Come on. And not consumer debt. All right, the last part is finish strong, y'all. I understand that my credit is not the goal, but a vehicle to help me achieve my goals. I have been exposed to a blueprint to create legacy. All right, y'all, sit down now. Y'all remember that, right? Come on, somebody. You should be hype about that, right? You guys have a new way. Next slide. So one thing I want to say about that last slide, and you can still stay right here, guys, is that when people are telling us credit is the devil, credit is debt, don't get credit cards, a lot of times they are people that we respect, we love, we care about, right? So we're respectful and we take the information, but respectfully, and you're going to hear me say it at the end, if you do not have the results I desire, come on, somebody, if you do not have the results I desire, that you may not be able to guide me in this area. You may not be able to lead me here, right? So a lot of times they're saying it out of love. They care for us, right? But they just don't know. Does that make sense? All right, so let's expose the truth about credit reports, because I think that sometimes you guys don't even understand this, that what's not on your credit report is your income, your gender, your nationality, or your ethnicity. Did y'all know that? It's a tool, right? It's actually a level playing field. Your credit does not say, not mind if it's like, Becky Smith, maybe they can discern who you are, but it does not give any of that information. So why am I telling you that? Knowing what's on your report and what's not on your report is taking away excuses. That means if you pay your bills on time, you're going to have a score. If you pay your bills on time, you're going to have a certain score. If you pay your bills on time, you're going to have a certain score. So if you don't have, I'm going to say an 800 because we 5%ers in here. Come on, that part. If you don't have an 800 credit score in all three bureaus right now, what does that mean? We got some work to do? Yes or yes? Now, what is on your credit report is your name, your address, all of your personal information, who you pay. But what's it say at the bottom? A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Guys, this is property number one for me. This is property number one. Some of y'all know me and some of y'all don't. If you know me, then you're about to hear the story again because I just had a conversation with Carl in the back, and it's very, very true that sometimes you need to hear things 3, 4, 5, 7 different times before it actually clicks. Does that make sense? Right? And so property number one, I purchased when I was 21 years old, and I only made $14 an hour. Raise your hand if you make more than $14 an hour. Raise your hand if you have a son, daughter, nephew, niece, godchild that makes more than $14 an hour. Come on, somebody, right? Look, it's not even just it's not even just about you. It's not even just about you. Some of y'all could be house hacking with your sons and daughters, teaching them generational wealth. Why is this important? Because single mother of 3, foster care, group homes, both my parents struggled with addiction, teen mom at the age of 17. Now why? Because I'm unsupervised, I'm angry, I'm disgruntled, my background, I'm moving all around, I'm mad at the world, I'm on a road of destruction. And then at 17, when I found out I was going to be a mom, the thing that was meant to break me, come on somebody, the thing that was meant to break me became my motivation to go harder because I said he will not grow up like me. And that thing cleaned me up real quick. So when you look at this very first house, and this is the actual house, y'all see that mansion, don't play. Like, no, look, right? Y'all see that mansion, don't play, right? It's a 3-bedroom row home in Upper Darby, $80,000. But where did I come from? Let me say it again, but where did I come from? It wasn't a mansion, but let me tell you why credit in this equates. Because this was what does Jamal talk about? Belief house. When I bought this house at 21, when my friends were going on girls' trips, my friends were going to Miami, my friends were going on shopping spree, I was not fly, but I had net worth. Come on, somebody. I was not fly, but I had net worth, right? So that very first apartment I was living in, guys, was $475 a month. The apartment I had with my son was $475 a month. When I bought this house, mortgage, taxes, and insurance, $525 a month. Yes, thank you, right? And I'm going to tell you why. Some people might be like, well, how did that happen? It happened because a mortgage is 30 years. The actual principal was like $200-something. So when I bought this property, what did it show me? That looking good on paper can change your life. Not only your life, but the generations coming behind you. Write it down. Do I look good on paper? What do you actually look like on paper? Because if you look good on paper, then lenders will give you things for you to do what? Buy the Gucci bag? Oh, I got you slipping. Look, you slipping. No, right? Buy a property, okay? Next slide. All right, so y'all, now we're going to be friends. I'm not going to fight with y'all today, okay? Everybody. Somebody say everybody. Everybody. Everybody is a business owner, period. I did not say everybody's a self-employed entrepreneur. I did not say everybody is a millionaire with their side hustle. I did not say everybody is a real estate mogul. I said everybody is a business owner. I've been talking to you. I know your name. I'm an executive assistant, and I do real estate on the side, and I do hair. I'm a project manager, and I do real estate on the side, and I cut grass. I'm a real estate investor. I am a plumber, and I have a landscaping business. Whatever that side hustle is, I don't care if you tutor, if you're a personal trainer, if you're an author, if you're a YouTuber, if you're a podcaster. I don't care if you make resumes. Whatever that thing is, guys, the hack, who wants a hack? The hack is incorporating it and building business credit. We have people in the room that have gotten business credit $100,000 in 6 months and less. I have people at over 1 million because they followed some simple steps to build business credit. And so it may not be, I'm about to tell y'all something. Y'all want to know something? Somebody say something. Look. So I said the Philly way. Somebody say something, right? Guys, it doesn't even have to be your real estate business you build business credit for. Is this thing on? Come on, somebody. Right? You have your real estate business and you are an author and you do tutoring on the side. Well, which one looks the best on paper? Which one's the lowest risk? Which one is cash flowing? Which one have you already had somebody pay you for? Some of y'all babysitting, you didn't even incorporate that. That's an excellent business to get business credit. Hello? Right? So whatever that side hustle is, go ahead and build business credit. And Jesus, we're all supposed to use our gift. Guess, I wasn't even going to go here, but guess what they used to say on my report card in school, y'all? Child, you get out the room. Look, I talk too much. She's very intelligent, but she talked too much. Distraction in class. But God, I wish I seen them teachers right now, because baby, look, listen, you use your gift to serve. Now I'm able to build a legacy and brand for my family, help other people build a legacy, and I'm doing what? Using my gift. Talking, look, come on, somebody. Right? So this is why I'm saying whatever it is, incorporated, guys. And then the real hack is that when you learn how to build, business credit, let's say you get, a $20,000 business credit card. Let's say you get, a $5,000 equipment financing. You get $20,000 in retail cards. You get a $100,000 line of credit. And you do that in 6 months with one EIN. Guess what you can do after that? Duplicate it. How many EINs do you want? Guys, nugget. Every EIN has its own borrowing power. That's the beauty of it. So you learn how to get $20,000 in business credit in 90 days with your real estate business, and then you do it for your LLC, then you do it for your author, then you do it for personal training. Does that make sense? And it gives you a way. How many social security numbers do you have? But how many EINs can you have? So the takeaway, guys, so I want to give you takeaways. Incorporate your side hustle. Whatever it is, you're already doing something. What is the thing that people ask you for? You know what? I understand that you're a busy mom, but I love when you make those cakes for the church. You know what? You gave me such good information about, interviewing. You know what? You did my makeup so beautiful for that event. Incorporate it, and build business credit. Next slide. And so the one thing I want you guys, look at all these different kinds of business credit. So this is the problem. I've been talking nice to y'all so far, but I'm going to talk about the problem just real quick. Yeah, real quick, y'all, okay? People come to me and they say, I want business credit, I want business credit, I want business credit. Half of y'all already have business credit. You got a business credit card, you got a line of credit, you got a loan, you got retail cards, and you're not even using it to build your legacy. Guys, there's more than one kind of way. So what I want you to write down and answer for yourself is, how much business credit do you need? What type of business credit do you need? And what are you going to use it for? You could be a podcaster and get retail cards and get your iPhone and get your camera and get your speakers and get your lighting, which will then what? Level up your videos, level up your podcast to do what? Get sponsors, get affiliate links, monetize it. Look, YouTube is a 6-figure stream for me now. Look, come on, somebody with a cell phone, right? And so this is why I'm saying, some of you guys even have, so April, she's not in the room, she's in Make Real Estate Real. She started building business credit with me. I want you guys to hear some real stories. She started building business credit. She did her very first flip. Y'all remember when the cost of lumber went crazy up and it knocked people out? Look, come on, somebody. We're going to talk real. Sometimes getting the money is not getting the actual mortgage or the hard money loan. Sometimes the business credit is for the appliances, to pay the contractors, to pay for the permits, to pay for the inspection, to pay for marketing, right? And so she had been building business credit, was over budget, was about to break even, and the project was about to be squashed, right? And I'm sharing because she shared. And then she was like, you know what? It came down to the very, very end. I was out of all my cash reserves. But I remember listening to you, and I had a Home Depot and Lowe's business credit card. Home Depot and Lowe's business credit card. She put all the appliances and all the kitchen cabinets and everything on those retail cards that were business credit and was able to save the project. It was like over 10,000. Look, could you use $10,000 right now? Right? So the reason why I'm saying this is even when you start small at some of these vendor accounts, guys, this is where even my vendor accounts right now, so for people that don't know me, I'm an actual investor too, right? I was investing in 2004 before the market crash, right? I made a lot and I lost a lot. Can I be real with y'all today? I made a lot and I lost a lot, but guess what? That makes me a great investor and coach now because I can tell you what to do and what not to do. So I still even use my vendor accounts. Why? I have a sump pump for this condo that had water in the basement, contractor bags. People are like, oh my God, I can't use my vendor accounts. You don't clean? Look, come on, somebody, you don't clean? And even this, asset-based financing. Some of you that still have a full-time job, why are we here? 9 to 5 millionaire. Build your fortune while you're still working at your full-time job, right? There's even business credit that will actually look at your 401k and you can actually leverage that to get business credit. Did y'all know that? Look, come on, somebody. All right, the next thing I want to say, too, is so the takeaway here, even my equipment financing, I just want to say this real quick for you guys. Everybody, when I say, do you want to invest in real estate, the very next thing they say is, I want to flip, I want to flip, I want to flip, I want to flip. And I say, great. You got a 500 credit score, no money in the bank, paycheck to paycheck, but you want to flip. I'm going to look away. I'm going to look away, right? Can you flip? Absolutely, but sometimes there's something else that is income producing that you can focus on to get your revenue up, work on your personal credit, build your business credit, and then when you have $50,000 liquid in the bank, then you go ahead and do your first flip because now you have business credit, personal credit, and money in the bank. So why did I say equipment financing? Guys, equipment financing can even be what? A car to put on Turo that generates $3,000 a month and your business credit payment is $1,000 a month. So you're cash flowing $2,000 a month and you're repeating it and you're repeating it and you're repeating it to get your reserves up, build your business credit, build your business. And then in 12 months, you're ready to do your flip. And I didn't just say do your flip, but be successful at doing your flip. Does that make sense? What did Curtis just talk about? Short-term rentals, retail cards, appliances for the short-term rentals, repairs, fixtures, furniture. I'm trying to make it real for you guys. So if you have not started building business credit yet, I was going to say something deep. I'm just going to say, what you waiting for? Look, stop playing, right? Like literally start doing it now, and then you just duplicate the process. Y'all was waiting for something real deep, wasn't you? Next slide. All right, so you are now exposed to working capital. Oh, y'all, just my heart fluttered a little bit right there. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, guys, I bind up the cash, what's it called? Cash App devil. The cash, I bind it up. If you are getting payments from your tenants, I'm going to be real with y'all, from your tenants in your business, anything, and you're using Cash App, you're using Zelle, you're using Venmo, stop. Why am I telling you that? Real businesses, right, have payment processors. They have merchant accounts. Lenders even look at you differently. The essence, come on somebody, the essence of doing business is having people pay you for your service or product. Everybody has, I want to simplify it for you. Everybody has a service or product, right? I have a service. Like pretty soon if I'm gonna have my journals and my t-shirts, like come on somebody. But right now I have a service, right? For my intellectual property. So when you invest in a course, you can pay me with a credit card or a debit card. Why? Because I have payment processors. When you invest in a coaching session, you can pay me with a credit card or a debit card because I have payment processors. Why am I highlighting these three right here? Up to $250,000 in working capital as a soft inquiry. That was a good time to get a standing ovation. Listen. And it gets direct deposited into your business bank account. But the further takeaway is this. Working capital means you can use it for anything. You're not getting a business auto loan just for a car. You're not getting a hard money loan for just one property. They're saying, here's $50,000 for your working capital. Here's $20,000 for your working capital. Here's $80,000 from your working capital. The last deposit I got with Stripe was $87,000. I hired a virtual assistant. You go on my YouTube right now. The lives I did on Instagram already have a thumbnail, and they're posted on YouTube. You think I did that? And now my DM, where are you at? How can I get involved? How can I hire you as a coach? My virtual assistant pays for herself. So when I got the working capital, I used it for something that was going to be income producing and grow my brand. Does that make sense? So these three specifically, guys, PayPal gives everybody $10,000. Like if you can't, I'm not going to say that. That's not nice. Where's CJ at? He in the room. Look, if you can't get $10,000 from PayPal, Houston, guys, so seriously, so PayPal will give you up to $150,000, $250 for repeat customers. Stripe, guys, I actually took this from their websites because I wanted you guys to see. Action item, takeaway. I'm okay with you checking me. Google, PayPal working capital, Stripe working capital, Square working capital. Says right here, no hard inquiry. So however you are accepting payment now, I send a Square invoice to my tenants. Why? Because I want Square to see my revenue. Why? So that when I want working capital, I click on the tab that says capital available, and I hit direct deposit, and I build my legacy. Come on, somebody, right? Does that make sense? Yes or yes? So action item. You guys can actually be using one of these. Have one, have two, have all three. I have all three, but have a business Stripe, business Square, business PayPal, and however you're getting paid right now, switch it. Why? Specifically for the goal of building business credit and getting money that is not going to impact your personal. I'm going to say one of the things I feel this for y'all, right? Like you're here. This was, you guys, your blood, sweat, and tears got you here, right? You have $20,000 in working capital. This is a business conference. Come on, somebody. A business conference, and you're able to pay off some of the credit cards with your working capital to do what? Make your utilization go down to do what? Make your credit score to go up. Come on, somebody, to do what? Get your commercial loan. Right? So it's a system. So the goal is to get business credit. The goal is to understand how much you need, what you're going to use it for, and where to go to get the money. Guys, that's the game changer right now. Who was that? Mother and daughter, right? So mother and son duo. Okay, so let me tell you something. Do not let us see you. What did Jamal talk about, right? If you do not have results, if you leave confused, whose problem is that? Now, I ain't saying Jamal said that. I was like, I don't know, maybe we did it, right? But, right, so the reason why I say that is because they were at the last conference. Do you know how many people came up to me and said, I knew I was going to see you here, and I was not going to see you again? What did you say to me? Without having business credit. Here's what I did since the last conference. Come on, guys. So now that you're here, that was an investment, right? That's a tangible result. We are in October. You still have 60 days. Do not let me see you again, and you do not have a tangible result as the outcome of being here. Does that make sense? So I go back to the beginning. What is the very next best step for you? This is something you guys can all do tonight. The next 24 hours is set up a business account with one of these, and then transition it over. Link in bio, on your website, on your QR code. I'm giving y'all some tangible stuff. Amen? All right, next slide. So I wanted to give you guys two real properties, two of my properties. Guys, the power of one. Now, let me see, is Maul in the room? I really think he took that from me because I did the power of one in like 2000. Let me stop playing. Right? The power of one. Guys, what I want you guys to know is that you're one property away. It's the truth. We're all in alignment. It's amazing how the team is all in alignment. But what I want you to do is take a snapshot of how many properties you have right now. If you have one property, your goal is, can I get one more? That's what you should be writing down, one more. If you have one property right now, your goal is, what do you need for the second property? If you have 0 properties, your goal is, what do I need for property number 1? If you have 3 properties, it's what do I need for property number 4? Because one property can change your whole life. These are real numbers on real houses. So this house right here, I got in 2011 when I got divorced. And when my fall, I was an angel, like, all right. Okay, right? I got divorced in 2011. This is an FHA loan on that property, right? Some of y'all laughing way too hard at that, right? And so I got this house in 2011, right? FHA loan. It was owner-occupied for more than 12 months. I lived in that house until like about 5 years or so. I lived in that house. I kept the mortgage. These are real numbers. The current rent, market rent for this property right now is $2,800. The current tenants, come on somebody say current. The current tenants pay $2,400. My mortgage is $1,400. Come on, yes. I'm I'm cash flowing 1,000, and look, I'm gonna use my Curtis. No cash out refinance, no equity taken out. The property has about maybe 80,000 left on it. And honestly, right? Jesus, I feel it for y'all. Don't compare your year number 1 to someone else's year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Most of y'all are killing it, but because you're like, I don't got 30 properties like Jamal, I didn't buy. No, guys, it's the very next thing for you. Could you use an extra $1,000 a month? And I'm still getting the tax write-offs from the interest. Why? Because it has a mortgage. Come on, y'all, and it's appreciating in value. And then on top of that, guys, did y'all know that when you're, now, hold on, disclaimer before I say this. I'm no accountant, I'm no tax professional, blah, 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 right? But on the months where the property is not rented out, what do I do on my taxes? I claim it as a loss. Come on, so I'm getting paid on the front end or the back end. Does that make sense? So I agree. You get a team. I have a whole CPA to make sure I stay in alignment. But this is one of the houses. The reason why I'm keeping this, come on, somebody. I'm in new construction now, but these are the houses with the hardwood floors and the crown molding was built into 1927, about to be paid off. Quick story right here for you guys. When I went to real estate school, the very first day of real estate school, I remember the instructor, and he was like, I have 3 sons. I had 3 sons too. He was like, I had 3 sons, and he said, when my sons were born, all I did was buy them 1 property. You've been exposed to the power of one property. He said, I think 2 had a duplex and 1 had a triplex. I can never get this part right. Or 2 had a triplex and 1 had a duplex. Tomato, okay? So they all had multifamily. And he said, the only thing I did was buy them a property and keep it. And rented it out the entire time. Then when they graduated from high school, signed it over. Property is paid off. The rent, all those years, and he said, I don't care what you do with it. I don't care if you rent it out. I don't care if you sell it. I don't care if you live in it. I do not care. I'm not paying for college. I'm not doing anything. All of those properties had appreciated over $100,000. He handed each child over 6 figures the day they graduated from high school, and all he did was buy 1 property for each child. Say, I can do that. Guys, I don't care who your person is, but does that make sense to y'all? Like, you didn't have to do too much. Sometimes doing 1 or 2 things can change everything, which leads me to the second property. This is a condo that I own right now that I inherited. Jesus, come on, y'all. What did I tell you? Foster care. Both of my parents struggled with addiction. She did one thing. She did one thing. She did one thing. She did one thing. She bought a house. She passed away. No life insurance. Still has a mortgage on the property. What did I do? I understood the value of real estate. I don't care. Everybody's not meant to be a self-employed entrepreneur. Everybody's not meant to have 30,000 properties. But real estate is and will always be one of the number 1 ways not only to build wealth, but to transfer wealth. Don't miss it, right? Your child may not have your gift, but sending them a property. So this property right here, I understood the value. What did I do? Immediately started paying the mortgage because I was in position in advance. Write that down. Get in position in advance. How many of you guys can take on an extra mortgage right now if something happened? Jesus, y'all know how many people, we're after COVID. You know how many people had inheritance and properties going to foreclosure and sheriff's sale because they weren't in position? Don't leave here not being in position. I just told you how to get some business credit to get something else income producing so that if you're blessed with somebody who did one thing, guys, I was able to save this house. Do you see these numbers? It has gone up $186,000 since she got it in 1996. Come on, y'all. It's small. 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. It's a condo for all of my single people. Single women and single men, y'all too. For all my single people, when I talk to people and they say, I want to invest in real estate, I want to be a landlord, but I don't want the responsibility. First of all, I bind that up because all day long I'll come cut your grass. No, I'm playing, I really won't, but I'll hire somebody. But the reason why I like owning condos is what? They cut the grass, they shovel the snow, they do the water lines. That's not an excuse. But I don't know where y'all at, but we don't do excuses over here. So pay attention to the type of property that you actually own. I love owning condos because I include the condo fee in their rent. I don't got to shovel the snow. The homeowners association does it. Guys, it works if you work it. It works if you work it. One thing I want to say, I don't care whether you do Airbnb, I don't care whether you do Section 8, I don't care whether you do off-campus housing, tax evasions. There's a million different things to do. Pick something and master it. What does they talk about? Mastery. The reason why, Jesus, that we're not having success is because we're renting mobile homes on Monday. Tuesday, we're doing Section 8. Wednesday, we're doing short-term rentals. Friday, we're doing a flip. Come on now. There's a reason. Pick something and master it. Guess what I do now? I used to do flips back in the day. I had this big Dodge Durango. It was on 20-inch rims. I wasn't saved yet. I used to be like, I was the roofer. You said you was at the property, right? Guys, I'm from Philly, right? So I used to, when I was a little bit younger, for my flips, I would manage them myself. Oh, today's the UNO, I'm on my way. Oh, the masonary's there, I'm on the way. Oh, the roofer's there, I'm on my way. My life is not set up like that right now. So I do what's best for me. I do Section 8 and private rentals. I'm going to say this right here for y'all because I mean it. I've had good and bad Section 8 tenants. I've had good and bad private tenants. You just learn to screen better and have a tight contract. You learn to screen better and have a tight contract. Don't you dare, I feel this. Don't you dare look down on somebody because they're Section 8, because you don't know their story. Some of us needed some housing help us a couple of years ago. Come on, somebody. I'm going to say something right here real quick. When I was building my business and I needed some help because I had a gift, but I didn't know how to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. I had a gift, but I didn't know how to run a business, and I needed some help. I went and got a contract position for like $40,000 when I was building my brand. There was a woman that came, and I was helping. Y'all remember Welfare to Work, where I was helping, it was a program a couple of years ago where I was helping people in public assistance find jobs, right? My master's is in human resources development. And I remember there was a woman, she needed clothes, she needed food, she needed housing. She needed clothes, she needed food, she needed housing. I remember how the people at the office looked at her. I remember how they talked to her. I remember how they made her feel when she walked in that office. This woman had 2 degrees, was an executive at her job, and had left the night before with the clothes on her back because of domestic violence. Don't you dare. You learn to screen, you get a good contract, and guess who got paid every single month when everybody lost their job because of COVID? The Section 8 landlords. Come on, look, come on, somebody, right? So pick something and master it's my point. So this property right here, right, the mortgage is only $610 now. She got it in 1996. I think there's, oh man, does that mean my time is over? Look. They was like, cut it. Okay, right? But guys, the current tenant pays $1,400. Now, why is there that great big gap? Because it needs to be updated. I just had a cleaner go in there, rent it out, hasn't been updated, and it's still cash flowing. Guys, there's $15,000 left on this property and will be paid in full. The off-market amount, $240,000. Come on, somebody. So the point to that is my mom did one thing. She just bought a property. Just do one thing. Finish what you started because you don't have any idea how that will bless. I didn't even add in the fact that I've been renting it out since 2017. Add those numbers on top of that. Yes, she was addicted to drugs. Yes, I was in foster care. Yes, I went through some things, which is why I'm grateful to God today. But she also cleaned her life up. We also had an adult relationship, and she did one thing that has blessed me and my boys tremendously. Does that make sense? All right, next slide. QR code. All right, y'all. So this is where today was about exposing you to some things, exposed to a different way to build legacy, exposed to the power of one, exposed to business credit, exposed to working capital, exposed to the fact that people talk bad about credit because they're unaware that it's a system to leverage to build wealth. This QR code, I have 2 free ebooks for you. A free, hold on. I said free, y'all was like, How many people like free, okay? I have 2 free ebooks, one on how to build your credit scores up to 800, and one on how to build business credit. One thing I love that Zeno said is he said, piercing the corporate veil. Guys, if you go on my YouTube, I just did a video called Business Fundability and Business Credibility. I talk about it heavy. Have your business bank account, have your personal accounts. Make sure you're paying yourself from your business. That piercing corporate veil is for real. Don't go through all this work to build up your business credit and build up your business and you don't do it the right way. Does that make sense? So the actual other ebook will show you how to start building your business credit and how to separate the two. Guys, your business, your EIN is like a little mini you. Does that make sense? You can have as many U's as you want. Next slide. I just wanted to highlight somebody for y'all. Somebody in Make Real Estate Real. I need y'all to see that it's real. Marie, not only does she have over $500,000 now in business credit, over $500,000, but she also used her business credit to get 2 mobile homes that she's renting out. 2 mobile, and some of y'all are some wealth warriors in here that know, like, these are real people to get on the conference calls, right? Has 2 mobile homes she's renting out, has a consulting firm now, has another property she's renting out, is using this to do what? 4 houses for what? Affordable housing. God will bless you to be a blessing. God will bless you to be a blessing. God will bless you to be a blessing. Everything 100% in business credit. She's been building business credit for less than 12 months now. Why am I telling y'all that? Some of us, 20, 30, 40, nobody in this room over 40. 20, 30, 40, right? And we don't understand personal credit. We're not leveraging personal credit. So if it took you 12 months, if it took you 24 months to learn business credit and build it the right way, would that be worth it for you? Look, you've been messing around with your personal credit for 30 years. Come on, somebody. We can do a good 12, 24-month bid, right? And so I wanted you to see that it's real. People are actually using it to not only change their life, but to change the generations behind them. Next slide. And so this is how you guys can contact me, okay? I'm on Instagram, Care Credit Tools. I'm on YouTube, guys. I have a free business credit building playlist on YouTube. I have a free playlist on credit scores and how to repair your credit. What I want to say to you guys before I end is that I do not take business, credit, or financial advice from anybody I would not trade lifestyles with. Look, that part, okay? So as you leave, as you're talking to people, as we end the conference out, right, you're at the end of the year, make sure you answer the questions I gave you. This is not a bunch of fluff, right? I started with talking to you guys for a reason, and I changed what I wanted to talk about because it's not about going through some slides. It's making sure that you leave here different than what you came. What is the very next best step? What do you need? And what financing, what lender do you need for the very next property? Amen? All right, y'all, have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.